AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Fabian perspective. Expected, so accepted. My cohorts might jump in the building. They might not. But it is I with the clear fly glass. Knicks Rehab, Knicks for life. We in the building, baby. Game 5 preview. I'm not even nervous. I feel more like, let's see what we look like in the first quarter. That's how I'm feeling. Knicks Pacers, game 5 in the second round series in the 2024 playoff series. Of course, the Knicks coming off that devastating loss in game 4, getting blown out by 32 points. Got our asses whooped, guys. It happens. 32-point margin of defeat was tied for the 5th largest in franchise history in a playoff game for the Knicks, and their most lopsided since a 33-point setback in April 28th, 2012, when New York fell to the Miami Heat 100-67. That was a Carmelo Heat. That might have been when we all got hurt that season. That was one of those moments where I had hope. I don't know about you guys, but during the Carmelo years, I didn't feel like we were going to beat the Celtics that first round that we got smoked. But the season that Shumpert was a rookie and we had Baron Davis on his last legs, no diddy. I feel like when Shumpert got hurt, it meant a lot for us because I love the way he guarded D Wade. I might have to look that up. Like the way Shumpert guarded D Wade to me stood out as a rookie. And I felt like, just being young and dumb, I'm just going to go out and guard D Wade. I'm going to go do that. So them losing by 33 points against the Miami Heat was like, we were just deflated probably. You know what I'm saying? But that was the last time we got rocked like that. And this one's a little bit different because I don't think we've never had this much optimism as a team and this much love, no matter how divided we are about Tibbs at certain points, Julius Randle at certain points was polarizing, R.J. Barrett during this Tom Thibodeau run, during the Jalen Brunson year so far. This season has taken a step up with OG Anunoby, of course, adding this level of just, okay, now we're on to something amazing, regardless if you have championship hopes or not. Going into that series for Carmelo back then against the Miami Heat, I don't think it was the same thing as going against the Pacers and going against the Philadelphia 76ers. For a lot of us, just the way we love this team, no matter how we feel about each and every individual personally. But let's get to that thumbnail. Because speaking of OG Anunoby, wow. Thanks, Tom Thibodeau, for doing Tom Thibodeau things. Apparently, OG Anunoby has started light work on the court. What does that mean?
He's doing light work on the court now.
So he's doing light work on the court now. What do you guys think that means? Did we need to hear about that? I don't know if we needed to hear about that. The usually ambiguous Tom Thibodeau. Some of these guys are trolling. Alex B, I've seen him on Twitter before. These guys are kind of like trolls or whatever. Well, OG is trending out here because of that. And I was just looking up to see anything else that was trending. Again, that's all we're getting is OG Anunoby getting light work on the court. I don't think Papa left. He's always, I seen him on Twitter. He's a good dude. He's funny too. He's crazy. I think he's kind of crazy. He said he doesn't have any confidence the Knicks can win versus the Pacers without OG. Yeah, I don't. I see those are the top tweets, but I don't see anything with OG that's like, no, OG hurts the Knicks so much, such a effing loss. I'm blaming Tibbs for the OG injuries. He's playing dudes 40+ minutes. Again, I don't agree with anybody saying the injuries is Tom Thibodeau's fault. That's kind of crazy. I did want to touch on this though. I think we missed this from May 7th. Tom Crean saying that at some point OG Anunoby wants to be a defensive player of the year.
You mentioned OG Anunoby. When he got traded to the Knicks, did you think that would be a really good fit for him?
Absolutely, without question. I remember getting asked in a couple of interviews, and I said it automatically changed the East. And
really,
there was no absolutely, there was no question, because he was exactly what they didn't have. He was excited to be there. He's the closest thing defensively that Tom had since Jimmy Butler. You know, in Jimmy Butler's heydays, especially early on, with the way that he had him defending, especially early on in Chicago, right? The way that he could guard so many people. OG Anunoby wants to be the defensive player of the year at some point. He definitely wants to be on that all-defensive team. And that's another thing that's driving Anthony Edwards now, you know, over the last couple of years, that maybe wasn't early, as he wants to be on that type of team.
You mentioned OG Anunoby. When he got traded to the Knicks, did you think that would be a really good fit
that
for
was
him?
Absolutely.
That was Tom Crean. I think he was speaking to. That sounds like Frank Isola. He's speaking to OG Anunoby's. He's speaking to OG Anunoby's as Jalen Brunson dances with DiVincenzo out here in these streets on the stage. We need this Brunson out here tonight. You come out here dancing after and one. Yeah. And he hit him with the donkey. I guess he heard OG was going a little questionable for game 5. But he seems, I guess, at the very least, he's motivated, right? OG Anunoby. And as Tom Thibodeau has stated, that OG Anunoby is doing light work. He's doing light work, according to SNY. And again, you know, I've been talking about him since after those first couple games with him on the team. I said, yeah, there's nothing like this in the NBA. There's barely anything like it. We had a great conversation yesterday. AllBall, shout out to AllBall, shout out to Flea, about very, how do they say, impassioned argument about OG Anunoby and re-signing him. That's a big deal. I don't know if rushing him. I think it's such a crazy place to be in the world history, especially when it comes to medicine. I'm not gonna deep dive into the pandemic and of course whatever side you were on. I don't want, because that gets too crazy. But I was always defending Kyrie when it came to his position, because you have athletes who are just in super shape. And if there's anybody we should be watching when it comes to medicine and how they respond to it, it's the athletes. They're the ones that are cheating, for lack of a better term. They're taking all kinds of products to be able to perform, exert everything physically possible, right? So we don't do that. Like the normal, I'm 5'7", 190 pounds right now. I gotta drop 20 pounds. Yo, Drake, let me get some of that OZ, baby. I'm sorry. I got Flea in my ear. Like Professor X, he's telling me, Fabe, stay on track. So we perform like normal people, right? Like they perform on a daily basis. They probably take anything under the sun. Legal, illegal. We've seen it. We've seen Kobe take, spin blood to put in his knee when it was illegal, and now it's the common thing. I probably think a lot of that stuff from Balco from 20 years ago was illegal. A lot of it's probably legal now. I remember the guy Victor Conti got locked up for the Balco thing. He was talking about the whole island of Jamaica was on something new when they were killing the Olympics a couple years back. And we just got to accept that, though. Like, these are the guys that are going to take these products to be willing to stay on the floor. And OG Anunoby, what a case, because he hasn't been able to perform consistently throughout his whole career. He was on the bench. That wasn't his fault when he was on the bench when they won the championship. Damn, imagine if he played. Like, see, we bring up the Golden State Warriors being injured that year, and the Raptors got lucky. Now that we know what we know about OG Anunoby, if he's healthy, what is Golden State doing with that and Kawhi Leonard? Now and that's something I never thought of until he became a Knick and had this run. But I digress. Point is, OG, we would love to see any miracle Captain America drug be given to him and be able to perform in the playoffs, but not over your long-term health, especially the next 4 years, which is the contract you're looking forward to. But I mean, if you're able to come back for the playoffs and look healthy and show resistance to injuries now, there's just the reality of things we have to deal with, and just the marriage of modern science and medicine and real-time experiments taking place with these dudes on the court, because this is crazy. It's really some X-Men-ish that we're dealing with. X-Men 97, on a side note, by the way, I don't know if you guys enjoyed that, but I fell asleep during the first episode. And and even the first going back to the first iteration, I think my son was right. It was kind of boring, man. But this is what it feels like. It feels like we're X-Men. I got OG Anunoby might be Nightcrawler, one of these dudes. And, he's not quite Wolverine. He's not quite invincible. Who the hell is invincible? LeBron is the only guy close to Wolverine, right? And who else that we think is? Kawhi certainly ain't. Who else is the Iron Man out here that we're going to talk about? There's somebody we're going to talk about. Oh, Julius Randle was, right? Yeah. But anyway, so light work. I hope we don't rush him. Like, none of us want to rush OG Anunoby to the court, right? I think none of us would ever want to do that. Like, no, we'll sacrifice whatever this year if we get, well, this is my opinion. I'll sacrifice this season if it means you're around the next 4 or 5 years with 4 or 5 other chances of a championship, because that's what he means to me now. That's what he means to us now. That's what Grant Hill meant 20, 25 years ago. And they sat Tim Duncan down as a result of Grant Hill attempting to play in a playoff game when were the Pistons really going to win a championship? Right? Tim Duncan and the Spurs, they saw that. The Spurs saw Duncan as a warrior, but bro, we ain't letting you play if it means we lose the next 5 or 10 chances at a championship. It doesn't make any sense. So OG Anunoby, in my opinion, the fact that he's even this motivated and vocal about trying to be the defensive player of the year, that's what's in his DNA. I love the way he talks. To Flea's point yesterday, he sounds, speaking of scientists, he sounds like one, like a doctor. I think he does. Him and his brother quit the NFL to become a doctor, if I'm not mistaken. So, just they got that special DNA. I don't know if that's a no Diddy, but I gotta say no Diddy just in case. They got that special DNA. Drea, you made a mistake. You should have been going after this guy. What's the other girl? The other veteran groupie. I'm sorry, the veteran housewife. Please in my ear. Fabian, stay on track. OG Anunoby is a hot commodity out here, is the point. These guys are smart, intelligent, genius athletes, man. Come on, like what he does is not normal. Being able to guard 1 through 5, beyond just surely missed, it hurts. Like I said it the other day, man. Just to be this optimistic, and it's a real optimism. Anyone who wasn't watching, shout out to my guy Joe Rose. He called me the other day. He said, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know OG was this good." I told him, "Hey, I ain't gonna lie either. I didn't know he was that good either." I didn't know he was that good till he got here. Like second all defense, led the league in steals is one thing. That's one thing. Donovan Mitchell led the league in steals. He's not a great defender. Being able to guard and bother. We see what happened with the Nuggets, for instance. They had to adjust Cat on Joker and turn the series around after being down 0-2 in Denver. It was kudos to them. I was dead wrong. I had them. All you guys, I don't know where you guys come from, man. Who is the Wizard of Oz out here talking about the mainstream media wrote off the Denver Nuggets? Well, I'm mainstream media too now then. Barry Horowitz, I wrote them off. But you saw the way Denver had to combat or counter the cat coverage on Joker. That's what, in my opinion, OG Anunoby provided and provides for us for the next 4 or 5 years. So hopefully he's all right. We see Mitchell Robinson maybe come back too soon, and not only come back too soon, which was my point from yesterday. Not only come back too soon, how will we really using them? What is the approach with these players going forward? Even Jalen Brunson, who's a warrior himself. Kudos to Tom Thibodeau, because there are moments where there'll be like a reverse call. The referees will be converging about something, right? All of a sudden, Tibbs will call a timeout right after. So now he extends the stoppage of play. So now getting these like little timeouts, 2-minute timeouts turn into 5-minute timeouts. Very, very strategic by Tom Thibodeau, allowing Brunson to rest, allowing the team to rest. So he's a genius at this. Very smart at this, like very. So why not do that with? And I think maybe in his head, to your point, he sees Sims and he's like, timeout. That's a -7 timeout, bro. At least with a regular timeout that I'm doing, the score stays the same. Sims is out there. We lose by 6 points. We lose 6 points on the board. So I get that, guys. But I do believe if OG comes back, anybody who is injured who can give us what they got, you still have to spell them, man. Because the number one thing the coach has to worry about is protecting his players, number one. And protecting them along with how do I optimize my players, right? Like the most obvious way to optimize your best players and players in general is, hey, Brunson, they didn't bring McConnell in. I'm leaving you in for another 5 minutes. That's a mismatch. Especially if Nembhard doesn't get, if we figured out how to get him off of you, especially if Halliburton's out there for too long. That's a mismatch. We need you out there to take advantage of it. So we need to take advantage of the fact that maybe there's somebody out there, rotation out there, we could have Achiuwa, Sims or somebody to spell Josh Hart and these guys. Because Josh Hart at 40 minutes, I think, is a different animal than Josh Hart at 48 plus minutes. Who has ever averaged 48 plus? He's averaging 48.2. That is nuts. Here's the answer. Here's the question. Who has ever averaged 48.2 minutes per game in the playoffs, in playoffs history? Nobody. Nobody has ever averaged that except for Josh Hart. So definitely two things on the agenda I want to talk about. And real quickly before I let you guys go. Oh no, not real quickly. We can get into that right now, as a matter of fact. I've seen some breakdowns here. Twitter is the ish, man. Twitter is the ish. Shout out to Rit Holtzman. Ben Ritholtz. He was showing different coverages of how Achiuwa was being utilized in the last game and, where we got blown out. But it wasn't as bad as we thought. We just have to finish. And, I forgot what commenter left this post, left a comment saying all I was looking at was Achiuwa's good side and his pluses. And when he finishes, I'm like, no, I don't. I know he's not. If Achiuwa was that good, he'd be starting. He's a bench player for a reason. He didn't start for the Raptors for a reason, and he's showing that. Why he's showing his inconsistency. But shout out to Ritholtz here. You see them playing like I hate calling it just a bunch of pick and roll dribble handoffs. You're gonna get that from Hartenstein, but the fact that you're able to have Hartenstein and Achiuwa on the court, Ritholtz started this thread by saying the Achiuwa thing is overblown at the power forward. Because there's ways here where you see Siakam is guarding Achiuwa, but he's helping too hard off of Hartenstein, right? Or it takes him too long to help, and then it gives a open lane for Hartenstein after the dribble handoff. And I guess he called it Siakam does not overload the strong side off pressures. Instead, 2-9ing right outside the paint, dunk for iHeart. So he does not overload, doesn't help fast enough. And then he shows like pressures with some awkward spacing in the weak side, but it's really Turner who makes the defensive play on Hart's pick and roll drive. Either way, Precious' offensive board and drive makes up for it. Honestly, he just needs to make this. And this is the problem. Make this, if not make the free throw. So he got fouled on the play. These are all the problems with Achiuwa. He's not consistent and, you know, someone who, I want to say he's superior athletically, but he's just so gifted enough that it gets him here. I don't know. Like, I wish Flea was here. If he gets to hop on, anybody else watching, like, we go to work every day, right? And can you say that you wake up every day at the same time and you go to sleep at the same time every day, and then you get exceptional work done every day, right? Do you put in the work to become a great worker at work, at your job, something you don't want to do? So imagine if your Precious Achiuwa, maybe he loves basketball, maybe he doesn't. Let's say he likes it. He has to put in the work at way before and way after he's done with these games, way before and way after practice, to really get better at these things, you know, just to speak logically and empathize with him, right? And I don't know if he has, and if he has, you need a new coach, bro. Who you paying? And he's from the BX. I know, by the way, I forgot what country he's from, but this is just, I mean, this is really good athleticism. And he's so good. It's not like he's still skilled enough where there's a difference between him and Sims. Like, Sims really can't do this. Sims will get the ball top of the key and gets really lost. Then he'll like drift off into the paint and not really do anything. So you see right here, he's floating into the paint, making sure he gets these bodies on them, and he's around. Who's this guy? Precious, right? You see him floating around and gets to the corner. Then Siakam is still playing the paint, so he's kind of drifting off of him. But he has to keep in mind where he's at because he moves around. Like Precious is smart enough to say, I got to get into this paint because the ball's going to be over here at some point. So this shows me that Precious really watches practice. He really participates, and there's an IQ to him, in my opinion. He participates. Maybe he's what do you call a butterfingers? I don't know. But this thing to me, just as an amateur dude, like you guys break down film. I gotta salute you guys because you guys are amazing. The way you are able to just communicate what you see on the film and break it down. Me, I'm just using my amateur eyes on the couch just by, okay, Precious moving around like this. He drifts off. He knows, he sees DiVincenzo coming to the corner. They're not bumping into each other. Then he knows he has a float to the paint because that ball might come out and he needs to rebound. He knows him and Hartenstein are the guys that need to rebound because what am I going to be doing standing on the three-point line, right? And if he was standing on the three-point line, I would be pissed watching this footage, right? I would think, unless there's another game plan for that. But closing in that space between him and Siakam, did he touch on this? Siakam really overloads off Precious here as JB starts the isolation, but really smart 45 cut from Precious allows Devo to lift from the corner. This a good look for New York. So even though they missed the shot, DiVincenzo's in the corner and really on the wing, and he gets to get to that space for Brunson to pass the ball to, right? The key thing to that is, because when nobody says, you know, we love Brunson, he's not a great passer. Jalen Brunson is not a great passer. So DiVincenzo being in the corner, that seems to be the typical shot in this day and age. Like if you notice, Jalen Brunson is such not a good passer, not a great passer. He doesn't make too many great skip passes, which is a thing in this era. So DiVincenzo knows that, and he gets to an open space that was provided by Precious. And again, it's just my amateur eyes, but this is also DiVincenzo coming off of that 35-point outing in game 3. And we don't expect him to have back-to-back 35-point games. That's why he is, you know, a borderline starter. That's why he is DiVincenzo. He's not quite, you know, a third option. He's streaky. That's just who he is because of this. He's not going to knock these down. It's just not who he is. If he was, we would be like, we don't need you, Donovan Mitchell. We don't need Devin Booker. If this guy hit these shots consistently, forget about those guys. Forget about looking for anybody else. But there's a reason why we are looking for everybody else. But imagine these, you know, with Devin Booker there and another sharpshooter there. That's what I think the whole free agency talk always comes from, and why we see plays like this and how we can imagine those it being fulfilled. And just I'll show you this one last clip. You can see Siakam ignoring pressures on the perimeter, but it's Naismith's denial of the dribble handoff that delays the action. And when iHeart sends Precious to get the dribble handoff with DiVincenzo, Precious does a good job sealing Siakam so that DiVincenzo has a clean floater. Pretty good look. So if you watch, look, Precious is in the corner. Siakam's still playing way off of him. But look, there's too many guys on one side. So Hartenstein kind of sends him over, and that closing that space is what allows DiVincenzo a great shot. And again, he misses. So we were just off in this game. We were just off. But I was saying starting Hartenstein and Achiuwa was a horrible thing. But just a great breakdown from Ritholtz, my guy Ben Ritholtz on the NBA. And you see how I sound. I sound crazy, klutzy, right? But these guys are able to break it down for us and show, hey, Precious Achiuwa and Hartenstein starting on the same lineup together. It ain't that bad. And they have open looks. We just got to hit these shots. Hopefully the gardening can happen. Because game 5 is pivotal. Having that much pressure going into the Indiana, even though we do, it won't be until the Indiana game is Friday night. So we have 2 nights off instead of the one that we had since Sunday. So, man, I was down on like I said about Achiuwa and Hartenstein being in the same lineup, but now I'm not. Like that's proof that you got to spell one of them. I think you're gonna have to see Sims if you do start them, and just I'm not worried about Hartenstein being in foul trouble either. Remember, against Embiid, there was foul trouble to deal with. And that was my thing with Tibbs. Is like, bro, you got to adjust in real time. They're not going to give him that call. Against the Pacers, who's going to get Hartenstein in foul trouble? Like, they would have to do a lot of dribble driving and bumping into Hartenstein to get that and one on them. And that's not really their game. They're a finesse team. So I'm not concerned with that. This is a track meet game. So you have to adjust. We don't have anybody to slow this game down. Like I said, even OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, these guys can get free throws and get those timeouts that Tom Thibodeau is aware of. The coaches, the players, the game within the game, they know free throws are timeouts. I get to, yo, Jalen, remember, go back to talk to this guy. All the communication takes place during the free throw, just like a timeout. And when you're not in control of that, the less control you have over the free throw game, it makes it tougher, especially against a track meet team like the Pacers, because they want to go 1,000 miles an hour. And how do you slow it down? I would think if Achiuwa and these guys, man, you get more reps in, and Thibodeau's getting on them about this. Hey, you guys missed this. Achiuwa, we don't even expect him to hit this floater. But DiVincenzo, what you doing? McBride, you better be ready. Like you guys provide offense. Achiuwa didn't come in here. We didn't come in here having any expectations of him offensively. Any offense is really a cherry on top. You guys got to take advantage of this. This is why the Pacers were able to build up that much momentum and go crazy. But again, they never lost momentum, right? But we all know how it is. It's easy to never lose momentum if you never got challenged. And it's not that we didn't try. I just think either they're tired, like we've been talking about ad nauseum, and also just being able to perform consistently like that. These players, that's not who they are. It's just not who they are. They're not the game breakers consistently, right? And if they were, again, their contracts would be looking a lot different. This number 2 seed might be even disappointing if they were way better and more consistent at being consistent. So yeah, I just wanted to share that footage. They might flag it, by the way. So I'm thinking about starting to repost the lives, because they flag a lot of stuff. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, when you're on YouTube, you got copyright strikes and you have copyright claims. Whoever owns the footage, when they give you a copyright claim, you're okay, right? They won't strike the channel. It won't be a harm on the channel, like a penalty to the point where, you can't, post anymore, but you can't monetize off of it. So what I'll do is, if I see that this is since it's the first, it's alive, and if let's say they flag it for a copyright claim, I'll trim out the segment. YouTube will allow you to trim out the segment that's being claimed on the copyright. That way I can get the views and get the monetization off of it. And then I'll repost the live in totality where it's just a copyright claim, where I'm assured that it's a copyright claim. And then I could play it for you guys to go rewatch, because I definitely want you guys to engage and see, you know, the reaction in real time, especially footage like that. That's something we got to enjoy together. You hear me all clunky talking about this. You know, next time I have Flea on, because, you know, Flea play ball and he'll give you the ins and outs. And he'll be able to say, Ray Fabian, that's why you're on the couch. What the hell you talking about? That's why you put your glasses back on. Thank you guys for, by the way, for listening. For listening to me. One more thing, man. Because I definitely want to chop this one up. Let me get to some of these comments before I go to Inside the NBA. You too, Daniel. Oh, Danny Barry, what's going on? Stocksinho, turn the page. Let's return the favor. Yeah, man. Let's do it. What's good, fellas? Dímelo, mi gente, que lo que? Montro, dame dato, King No Mercy. Anybody know how I can watch the game online? I cannot tell you how to watch the game online while being live right now. Zone studies. You ain't flagging me. I can't give you that information like this. And you know what? I don't even know what you're talking about, Zone Studies. Zone Studios. Matter of fact, you are Zone Studies. I don't know who you are anymore. Next comment. Tibbs won't give much more about OG's progress. Keep the Pacers wondering, I guess. Yeah, keep them guessing, but I think nobody, I believe, M3T, but what's going on, by the way? I don't believe anybody thinks he's coming back for this series. And we're going to have to do, you know, just think about not playing along him in the lineup for the rest of the playoffs, which for me, there's no championship host at that point. If there's no OG, there's no championship. You know, you got to be able to compete defensively and have those stops at the very least. If you can't control the line of scrimmages, the free throw line to me, and ultimately, and when you can't control that, and OG controls that on the defensive end, they give him calls. He's an all world defender, defensive player of the year type of guy, in my opinion, who gets calls and he's not going to be on the court. That changes everything. You saw without Jalen Brunson every day, we still competed. You know, he was still providing stops and everything, but ultimately, you see how Brunson is. You know, come on, the alpha omega out here, and you need him. But no OG, no championship. Let's get that right. And that's like this is how strongly I feel about that. Even if you have Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, and everybody else healthy, without OG, we are not a championship team. That's how strongly I feel about them. If you got everybody healthy, Julius Randle, I don't know how we beat Boston. It might go 7 games. We'll battle it out, and I think we'll go with matchups and you know, you can work that out. For me, I can work that out and project it. But with OG, it's just you have somebody on the court, like I said, who can equalize whatever other team is giving you and control some of the free throw line. Knicks are gonna go out fighting, no quitting this team. Yeah, man. We'd be surprised if they come out today and just come out flat again, right? I'm not believing that the season is over. We get this win tonight. I think we can finish the Pacers on Friday. Yeah, because they play no defense. Like we have to remind them that we're a second seed, man. Ain't gonna lie, but especially I know we're injured, but we've been injured the whole season and we figured it out. Like we were just gritty, and Jalen Brunson is hurt, but at least we want to go out in the conference. Making the conference finals is a big deal. You know, shout out to Dime Dropper and even AllBall. When you listen to them talking Flea, they're so big on the playoffs because of that. Because if you go to the conference finals, you got that. Remember, that'll be Jalen Brunson's second conference finals. And he's the lead dog now. And he led them for a round on those Dallas Mavericks teams. So that cannot be overlooked. And this is it's something that's at some point, if you're his agent at the very least, Jalen Brunson's agent, wink, wink, the family, you're gonna brag about that. Yo, my guy's in the conference finals twice. Like that's at some points undeniable, especially for the other guys. It'll create expectations, great expectations, but we want that. That's a good problem to have. Ain't gonna lie, Knicks have me concerned, especially with these injuries. Of course. Go New York, go. I kind of hate that chant, by the way. I think it's very corny, but whatever. Zone, you can't watch online unless you pay for a subscription on MSG or Sling or Live NBA app. I got Sling paying $40 a month. Hey, man. Hey, man. That ain't the only way. Fleas in your ear telling you to stay on track. You are, man. I'm telling you. We will get to the next round. As much as OG means to the team, I think we win this series without him. Let's assume that and have him ready for the Celtics. You talk about some Willis Reed type of vibes, like Jalen Brunson did in Game 3. Came back in the beginning of the second half, or Game 2. Man, OG Anunoby comes back against the Celtics, and he took that Captain America juice. We rocking. OG's out for this series, so don't count on him. Let's move forward and start Deuce. Will Chamberlain probably. Okay. Late. Is he probably probable for the series? I didn't see them say he was probable. I'll look again. I didn't see them say he was probable. Pacers will start. Pacers starting lineup is Halliburton, Nembhard, Neesmith, Siakam, Turner. Knicks will start Brunson, McBride, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein. So Brunson, McBride, Deuce McBride is starting. Wow. Hold on. Hold on. Wow. I'm sorry, Hog. I'm just seeing this now, Hog Grabber. 10 minutes late on your comment. Wow. What do you guys feel about that? I'm not gonna lie. I'm hyped. I'm hyped about that. Thibodeau, salute. Salute, my brother. I would have smacked you in the back of your bald Homer Simpson head right now. Yeah. I like that. I like that. He's showing something. Make him think. Make him think. I like that, Tibbs. Homer Tibbs. I like that. Wow. Was not expecting that. It's a track meet out there. Throw another guard. He basically has a small ball lineup out there. I like that. Let dudes try to get 5 or 10 3-pointers up, man. Get him in a rhythm at the Garden. By the way, I look at his splits. I don't think he's great at the Garden. Deuce McBride. Wow, that got me. See what I'm saying, Flea? Where you at, man? That got me hyped, man. He's thinking. That was a come on, man. Now you got Achiuwa coming off the bench. He said, nah, we ain't playing with this. He said, that also tells me, hey, Jericho, go clean them towels, man. Get them towels ready. Get them towels ready, Jericho, because you ain't, we had enough of you. 8-second violation. Don't you ever. Let's get to these dudes McBride stats. The splits. I want to see the splits real quick. Let me see. If I'm not mistaken, he plays better on the road. Why? Why do you go crazy? Get rid of these ads, man. All right. What you call this? Can you see this yet? No, you guys can't see. I'm sorry. How do we do splits, guys? Jesus. Splits. It says it right there. Playoffs. No, where's the splits at? Splits. Booyah. Stop doing that. Stop moving. Home and okay, here we go. Home and on the road. He plays 68 games. At home, boom. 37.8 from 3. On the road, he's 44.7. An even amount of games, 34 and 34. He started 8 at home, started 6 on the road. He shoots 37.8% at home from three-point range, and he shoots damn near 45 on the road. 48.5% field goal percentage on the road. For the season, he's at 45%. So look, he shoots 41% from three for the season, but 38% is at home and 45% is on the road. Field goal percentage is 45% on the season, but it's 43% on the road, at home, rather, and 49% basically on the road. True shooting is 63.8%. I forgot what the average was. How's free throws? Free throws is worse on the road. Wow. Pre-All-Star game, he was shooting 43%. So yeah, those numbers are different. They have a best month here. His best month was March, it looks like. And December was 7 games was going. He was getting nasty. 66%, 67%. So he shoots better on the road. His scoring is pretty much the same. He scores 1 point better at home. He's probably getting to the line then. Free throw attempts 29 at home, 21 on the road. There you go. He shoots more shots up at home than on the road. That comes from the fact that, come on now, you know what that means. It's the same amount of games he's playing on the road and at home. You know what that means. Deuce! Imagine they screaming your name like that at the Garden in New York City. This ain't Indiana. No disrespect. Shout out to Caitlin Clark, the new darling, getting all that bread. Got them people first class to the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the GOAT already. This ain't Indiana. This ain't Tuskegee. You at? This ain't Toronto. It's the Garden, New York City. They're screaming your name. Imagine them screaming your name. Deuce! That's why he shot up 20 more three-pointers at the Garden. Like, hold on, let me get some of that. Imagine all the girls in the crowd, all them bitches in the crowd. Who's Deuce? Who's that? Oh, the guy with the funny hair? Oh, my wife's in the kitchen. Anyway. Let's get off that topic. But Deuce McBride is starting, y'all. Wow, what a surprise. I was going to talk about the inside the NBA guys for a second, but we got 10 minutes left. I can still do it. Nah, I got too much. Let's read these comments. Will Chamberlain, New York fans are strange. We're strange and your name is Stretch Pig. Toast to you. Not an amateur. Thank you, Flea. I'm not an amateur. Deuce starting. Yep. I don't want the Knicks to play Boston. Even with OG, they will get blasted. I want the Knicks to be at full health. Hey, D. Grant, watch your mouth. If OG is good to go and we monitor him, as they say, monitor, let's go for the upset. Let's go make the championship. Let's go make a legacy for these guys. This is Jalen Brunson, the legend. He's a legend out here, man. With OG, you crazy. Thank you, Sports Guru. They're gonna play Boston. Stop with that weak-ish losing mentality. I'm sorry. GM's in the land. I'm sorry, man. My bad. Guru, he just not enough on offense. Defensively, they may slow them down a little bit, but they have too many weapons. Tatum, Brown. Yeah, but come on. They're soft. Let's not forget that. OG can only guard one man. He can, but that's, you can try to neutralize somebody on like Derek White out of nowhere or something. That's at the end of the day, it's our job to come up with a game plan, man. And he's that good. The Knicks need Randle against Boston to have that inside game. What inside game? You want Randle to take 1 or 2 dribbles in the post, pump fake, or get the ball out. You don't want him to be in that inside game. Get the foul calls. Salute, panel, and chat. Let's get it. That's right. Share, like, comment, subscribe. They don't like comentario. Y subscribe. Adrenaline 40-piece from Brunson tonight. Christian, what's going on, baby? Draymond Green is okay. National TV right now talking ish about us. Can he straighten them out? Ooh. I ain't watching that. I'm watching this. One game at a time. One game at a time, Tekler. That's a hell of a name, Tekler Rory Williams Frankenson. Nah, Randle takes the pressure off OG by being the second leading scorer, and he can get 12 rebounds per game. That is what Randle brings. Randle has never averaged 12 rebounds a game, my brother. He barely averaged 10 rebounds yet last season. He takes pressure off by just, you know, doing what we saw Precious doing earlier on the footage. Do some of that, and then make when he makes quicker decisions, and then he's a bigger body to sink the defense and follow him. Because you see, they could just lay off of Precious Achiuwa. The defense would rather lay off of Randle and let him shoot, but he can close out that space. He provides something different than 12 rebounds a game. By the way, he is a butterfingers and drops a lot of rebounds, D. Grant, respectfully. No matter what happens this or next, the Knicks did the unthinkable. Cats kept falling, and we still showed everybody you can't count us out. Correct, for real, CEO. That was for real. 51 from Brunson tonight. Rohan, let's go. VIP league or buff. Brunson is playing on one leg. I'm not sure what he's going to do tonight. We're going to see. Homer Simpson. Yeah, he's Homer. He's Homer Simpson. Tibbs can afford to start McBride now that he has taken the cobwebs off of Burks. M3 TV. Easy now. Homer Sim Tibbs. Yo, Homer Sim Tibbs is crazy. I think Burks has a big game tonight. Burks is back. I'm late. OG back? No, I'm sorry, Beeman boy. Sorry if I trolled you a little bit. Said OG is doing light work and he's on the court. But, you know, we don't want to rush him. And Tibbs keeping it short and sweet as usual. No, did he? I'm late. Nah, he ain't back yet. Press the like button. Press that like button. Press the join button. Woo! Woo! Dude, Randle's stats since he's been a Knick is 21 points, 10 rebounds per game. You bugging, bro. You think I'm bugging, my brother? Let's check this out. 20 and 10 is different than 20 and 12, by the way. Just so that we're straight here, my brother. Uh-oh. Trying to play me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Hold on. Game's about to start in a couple of minutes. Hold up. All right. All right. All right. Is that what it is? You got to keep putting up all these ads. So since he's been a Knick. Oh, they're doing me dirty like that? Okay. Since he's been a Knick, he's averaged 9.9 rebounds. So I'm being, technical here, but that's 9.9. It ain't 12. It's not 12. Most he's ever averaged was 10.2. Average around 10 rebounds a game. It ain't 12, my brother. That's all I was saying. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to kill nobody. He's trying to hurt nobody, man. Bulls fan growing up, so was damn sure never a Knicks fan, but y'all earn my respect and admiration. Go for it. Thank you, Terry TS2. Thank you for acknowledging that. We definitely don't want you over here on this bandwagon with all them Jordan jokes you had in the 90s. If that's what you are. You better not be a Jordan Bulls fan coming over here ever thinking you could cross the line. I see that's a little very sneaky of you, Terry. Very slick of you. But thank you for acknowledging that we are a good team. Live show fam. Keep doing your thing. Great content. Salute. Chris Chang. Thank you, my brother. By the way, that humbles me as much as I come off like a crazy lunatic. I love to hear that, man. Keep me going, man. I love y'all. We don't ever win when Burks plays extensive minutes. We shouldn't, right? Like, if he's playing extensive minutes, that means the game is over. In, like, the wrong way. Yo, Fabian. I've been saying since before this series, if the Pacers learn how to play defense, we in trouble. But let's see if our boys learn to overcome it tonight. Hey, yo, Georgie. They didn't learn how to play jack. We're missing 4 of our best players. It's kind of easy to play defense on any team that's missing their 4 best players. They didn't learn anything. I think that's what Carlisle was telling them. Like, bro, you know that they're missing everybody. Just press up on them, man, and go hit a layup. Nobody's gonna stop you. They're crazy. With OG back, the Knicks take this one. The Pacers' mistake, starting Neesmith and Nembhard. Ooh. Great observation, Adam. I was so caught up in the McBride. Ooh, I'm so hyped. Even if he does bad, we know he's a shooter. And Achiuwa doesn't bring that, man. That's all I was saying, bro. Let's bring our racers to the track meet. Get Alec Burks. Burks is gonna give you 10 by accident. They stink. Let Burks, when they bring in, what's this annoying guy? TJ McConnell, bring in Burks. Bum for bum. Bum, 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 bum. Laugh out loud, subscribe. Thanks for the love. Much success. Let's go, Knicks. You got to end it like that. Game 5 starting up. Knicks by 5. You already know what time it is. Fabian PerspecTV. Respect it, so accept it. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
I'm going to do it again. Yeah, they laugh at me. Come on, baby. Don't treat the Bulls fan like that. The man was giving you props. There's a game to be played tonight. Let's concentrate on that. No, it wasn't. Hey, Marvin. He gave us the props. All I'm saying is you ain't sneaking up on me after you were a Jordan fan. See, Marvin, I don't know how old you were. I don't know if you were around for them Bulls fans. They're the ones that started this whole Golden State Warrior nerdy fan wave. All right? So the Jordan fans used to terrorize us in the 90s. They were going crazy on us, man. Patrick Ewing 1 point. They were going crazy, man. I ain't forget, Marvin. That's all. Your title made me think that OG was playing tonight. Listen, man. I'm not in charge of the titles. Come on. I'm a true fan. OG, triple OG. That's what I'm saying, Marvin. So were you around when these Bulls fans were terrorizing us? Nah, bro. Don't put that on those Bulls, man. But hey, it's all love, though. Good luck. Terry, see? I like that. You're a good sport. I like that guy. You know what? I take back my Bulls comments. You're not one of those Bulls fans then. You're not. You're a good guy. Burks will hit a few critical threes tonight. Deuce will too. Go Knicks. See y'all later. I couldn't end it, but I seen those comments. I had to holler at y'all, man. Knicks Rehab. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.